Hello again, YouTube family. Thanks for joining me on my YouTube show. And I'm going to start off with, if a fart had a face, it would be Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is the fart face kind of guy. If a fart had a face, it would be Tucker. On this episode, I'm talking about a video where he talked about AOC. Let's get to a clip of his show.
Ocasio-Cortez has one of the largest political megaphones on earth, but she wants more than that. She now insists that not only should she be able to speak totally unfiltered to millions of people at once, but that nobody should be allowed to disagree with what she says. In February, her office sent a mass email to supporters asking them to report anyone who criticizes her to the tech monopolies for punishment. Quote, scan your social media to find posts with misleading information, the email read. Use the built-in report feature to flag them for moderators. Well, what is this? It's pretty straightforward.
And there on the chyron at the bottom of the screen, it said AOC feels deeply sorry for herself. I don't even know what he's getting at with that chyron at the bottom. But on the show, he's saying that AOC has one of the largest political megaphones on earth, which is objectively true. AOC is a rather new member of the House. However, despite this only being her second term since she won re-election in 2020, she definitely is one of the more recognizable people, one of the people that everyone's heard of by this point, whether you're right, left, middle, independent, whatever. He was claiming that she believes no one should be able to disagree with what she says. No one should be able to disagree with what she says. Her office sent out a mass email to supporters asking them to report anyone who criticizes her to the tech monopolies for punishment. If you actually get to the text of the tweet, which he did conveniently on his show, I mean, he put up the message himself, which did not say anything he was claiming. You know, the message said to scan your social media to find posts with misleading information. Use the built-in report feature to flag them for moderators. And so what AOC's crew were doing were asking for her supporters to flag misleading information that they see getting passed on social media so it could be flagged. Moderators could look at it and determine whether it's misleading information, whether it's anything that violates the terms of service with the platform, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. But his claim that she believes no one should be able to disagree with her, nowhere to be found in anything she said, in anything ever that she has said, in any social media she has ever put out. You know, he was saying that she wanted her supporters to report people who criticize her to the tech monopolies for punishment because it's Tucker Carlson. So he's got to use really vile words that make something sound horrible and like she's in some way in cahoots with Twitter or Facebook or whoever else. Because the right wing has been on this war against tech companies, trying to force tech companies to allow them to say false things and not get it removed or get it fact-checked. You know, for a long period of time you had fact-checks being attached on Facebook and Twitter dealing with the election of 2020. Anytime somebody put out something that was demonstrably false, that had been fact-checked by multiple sources, if someone posted something pertaining to that false, misleading information, there was something added on. the fact check saying this may be false or misleading. You can find out more information here and read articles on people saying why it's incorrect information. I mean, Candace Owens, I did a video a while back discussing how Candace Owens, was suing Facebook over having been fact-checked. She was mad because she put out false information. Facebook let the people on their platform know it was false information and gave them a link to sources to read about the information, what's being discussed, what's true, what's not true, and she didn't like that, so she decided to sue them. That lawsuit's going to go nowhere. I'm assuming it will be dropped quietly and nobody will ever bring it up again. And Tucker Carlson here is trying to attack AOC in literally the same way people attacked Ilhan Omar. When Ilhan Omar put out a tweet criticizing Israel, people called her anti-Semitic. They said she made a lot of claims in the tweet which she did not make. And that's the thing. If you're going to attack somebody and you're a bad faith, you're starting from a position of bad faith, you have to create the straw man. You have to create the false statement that really wasn't said that you're going to argue against. In this case, Tucker Carlson is claiming AOC has some seedy connection to the tech monopolies, and that she is telling her supporters to report anyone who criticizes her to the tech monopolies, saying that she believes that people should not be allowed to disagree with her, and when the whole gist of what her team was doing was telling people to report false information. False, misleading information. Report it so it can be flagged, looked at by moderators. And which is very much something we should be doing. Nobody should want to get false and misleading information. I know there are some people who do because their worldview requires false and misleading information in order for them to continue having that worldview. If they suddenly started having to read nothing but true information, it would be difficult for them to continue their worldview. And that's okay with me. We can change worldviews in this society. We can let people know that, hey, this thing you believe is not true. There's not some massive flow of immigrants coming over the border that's going to take your job and throw you out of your house. Not going to happen. And that's the gist of this show. This episode is just this ridiculous attack by Tucker Carlson on AOC. And the thing is, he puts up the actual text of what she was calling for, while he is mischaracterizing what she was saying and what her team was doing. What I don't get is how people who watch his show can hear him saying these things, that she believes people should not be able to disagree with her, and that people should be reported if they criticize her, when the text of the message is to report false and misleading statements. And he put that text on the screen. I don't see how his viewers can watch that and then not to themselves say, wait a second, he just said something completely different than what this text says. Why is he characterizing it in such a disingenuous way? And that is the gist of right-wing media. To lie and to put out false and misleading statements, to create the argument via logical fallacy so that it stands up, because an argument from the right typically does not stand up if it's based in reality and fact. Anyway, thanks for joining, and if you liked the episode, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed, and by all means, leave comments. Tell me something you'd like for me to talk about, something you'd like for me to engage in, And by all means, have a good day.